Hi everyone, my name's Michelle and I'm Mama Loves UGB here on FlossTube, and this is my Flossmas Advent, and this is day 18th of December, so welcome along. This is the morning briefing, good morning, and I've got a few things to show you today. Most importantly, perhaps in my eyes, I've got some haul. I've got my copy of the new Blackbird book, so I'm going to be showing you through that later on, once we've done all our normal day-to-day business. I haven't got that much stitching done today. I did manage to paint my sleigh that I showed you the other day. So I showed you that I'd picked up this sleigh on eBay, and it's just one of those ones that comes flat packed, and you can probably see the little joins there. It comes flat packed and then you just kind of paint it yourself. So I painted mine, and I painted it with black acrylic paints, and I put, you probably won't be able to see too much on this light, but on the two sides I just mixed in just a little bit of brown as well, and just loosely with a brush, just so that it doesn't look quite so flat black. It looks very flat black on this, but it's not quite so flat black. So that's ready for me to put a little Christmas pillow or some little Christmas bits and bobs in. And like I say, I was really pleased with that because that was £4.99 including delivery. So super pleased with that. I've just brought up actually the things that I used to do it with, and it's really inexpensive stuff. I mentioned getting bits and bobs from the works yesterday, and probably one of the reasons I get a few bits and bobs from the works is it's one of the only shops in Cardigan. There aren't that many, there's not that much of a choice, but I just use the plain old Crawford and Black acrylic. So I buy a big black and I buy a big white one, and I have got a big brown one somewhere but I couldn't find it. So that's £2, and then I've got just this little set of 12 different colours. So when I was doing the black on the sleigh, I just picked out some, I think it was of the burnt sienna. I'm not going to take the lid off because they'll all fall out, but some of the burnt sienna, and just kind of mixed it in on the brush just to give it a bit more depth rather than just a flat black. And then I used once it all dried, I just used a clear wax polish, so this or Fiddies or something like that, just over the top. And it does take a couple of coats to get a sort of a nice finish on it, because obviously this is made out of like a board. It's still wood, but it's a composite board. It's quite rough, so the first coat you put on doesn't look as if it's done very much, and then you put another coat on and it looks better, and then I shall probably do another coat on this one again and it'll be even better still. But I put the link to the Etsy shop that I got this from a couple of videos ago, so have a look for that if you fancy getting one for yourself. Oh dear, it's been quite a long day today really. Nothing exciting. We went for a walk in the woods, but it's just seemed to be a long day. I feel like I've cleaned the kitchen 20 times today. It's been one of them. This is my other doggy mug. You sometimes see my Dalmatian doggy mug. This is my little sausage doggy mug. I'd love a little sausage dog, but I think Albus would break him, so we'll just stick with Albus. Okay, let's do Freebie first of all. Now this is an amazing freebie. This came out at the same time as the other lockdown freebies that lots of designers were doing, and it was one of the ones that perhaps went under the radar a little bit, and it's by Heartsease Exemplar Works, designed by Teresa Baird. And what came out during lockdown was that pillow, and then within a very short space of time she designed and added to her freebie collection all of those other things there. So you've got a needle book, and inside it's got places where she's stitched for like size 22 needles, size 24 needles, 26, 28 needles, so it's really detailed on the inside of there as well. A little fob, this cute little sort of ruler, a little strawberry, And then that one there is a scissor pocket. So you can see on the bottom what they are. And this one isn't just a pillow finish, it's actually a box pillow finish, so it looks like a little sort of square pillow. It's beautiful, and it's stitched on the bottom as well. There's so much work gone into this freebie. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to link the place where the actual freebie is, because it took me a few minutes on her blogspot to actually find the space where the freebie is, and it's in her Dropbox, so you have to download it from her Dropbox, which is fine, but you can just download it straight as a PDF if you haven't got a Dropbox of your own. And then I'll link also to her blog, because her blog has got some really good finishing instructions on it if you did want to make all of those things. That's a couple of months work there easily, isn't it? But if you wanted to make all of those things, then the finishing instructions are on her blog. So I'm going to link to both of those for you. Just incredible, an incredible freebie there. If you can see, one of my lights has just started flickering a little bit, so either we're getting communication from the other side or it's the weather. I'll let you know which. I'm going to do a couple of finishes now. This one is by Stitching with the Housewives, and this is Honeybee, and it's just finished with black velvet, one of my favourite finishings, a little bit of ribbon, is it broderie anglais they call it, one of the little mother of pearl buckles, and some little coordinating fabric at the bottom. And this is stitched on 32 count, I'm pretty sure it's a chalkboard that they call it. I can't remember which manufacturer it's by, but it's a sort of dark grey, it's not black, but I really enjoyed doing that one. It is a bit of a challenge to stick on, to stitch on very dark and black fabrics, but I actually found, because I started off by putting this one in a hoop, thinking that it would be better to have it stretched, and I couldn't get on with it in a hoop. And what I realised was that with kind of muscle memory, using the stitching technique, it was almost as if my needle knew where to go. So even if I couldn't see the holes directly, my needle knew where to go because of the muscle memory. Now there's loads of tips with stitching on dark fabric about putting something white on your lap or putting a light underneath, but I really found that my needle just knew where to go from a lot of stitching in hand and using the sewing technique. It kind of knew where to go, so I just let it. So that's that one. And then this other one, I know that I have showed it to you before. In fact, I think I showed it in my very first ever floss tube. So if you're a new subscriber and you've not gone back to my first floss tube yet, then this is one of the things that I show. So this is by Plum Street Samplers, and it's probably one of the things that I've got most comments on, and it's certainly one of the things that I've seen crop up most on Instagram, where people have done the same thing and then very kindly credited me that they've seen the idea from me. So this is Penny Autumn by Plum Street Samplers, but I chose to stitch mine on Murky, and it's on 32 count Murky, using either the called for colours, well, it's using the called for colours, but either the DMC version or the I had a few of the overdyes that went into this. And I think the only other change from that is the house, which is in the Silks for You cream. And try not to get too much glare on the frame. I really enjoyed doing this one, and I absolutely love it on Murky. Those colours just really pop. There you go, that's a bit of a better shot. Those colours really just pop. And I also like the fact that some of them are very close to the fabric too. That never bothers me with some of the stitching's quite close to the fabric, because I like the fact that it invites a second look. You can go and have a bit of a look closer at it. So that is Penny Autumn by Plum Street Samplers, and I finished that sometime over the summer. I can't quite remember when. Okie dokie. So thread advent, and then I'm going to show you my haul, because I've got that new book and I got a couple of other bits and pieces as well, because it's important that these things do not travel alone. Really important. So day 18 up at the other side. My daughter actually came in and put the lights on this for me earlier. She was like, "Mama, you haven't put the lights on." So they've been on for about 3 hours. So, old covered bridge, the Gentle Art. Not heard of that one before. Let's pop that one down. Ooh. Now this almost looks like it's got some very pale greens in it, but it almost looks like it's got some flashes of almost like a lavender purple. Ooh. Yeah, like there for example, you can see it's probably more of a brown, but in this light it looks almost like a lavender purple. If that is the case, I know exactly where I'm going to use this. I bought a chart from Our Forest Embroidery called Fly Agarics, and I'll put a picture of it up, and that's got a border that needs a sort of green and purple thread, so I might use that. Perfect. Happy days. I'm going to be really sad when this thread advent comes to an end. What am I going to do when I'm not getting a new thread every day? I don't know. I really like getting new threads every day. Just look at that gorgeousness there. Look at that. Amazing. Right, haul. Now, there it is. I was like, I just had the book in my hand. What have I done with it? Let me show you the other bits first of all, because as I said, these things can't travel alone. I got my Sky Oaks. I got my Fabric of the Month Club from Patchwork Rabbit, and in fact all my haul came from Patchwork Rabbit. I've got a few threads on order from Peakside Needleworks, but everything that came today was from Patchwork Rabbit. And this is really blowing out 36 count mellow. Is it mellow or mallow? Mellow. And so it's got quite a bright, I would say it's a very bright kind of parchment. It's probably not as yellow as it's looking, but it's not one of those soft parchments. It's more got a lemony background to it. So that came, and I also got a fat quarter of Picture This Plus Wren, also in 36 count, because I really like Wren, and I've had some before, and to be honest there's really not a lot of Picture This Plus in the country at the minute anywhere. Most of the sellers seem to be really running low on it, so a fat quarter in 36 count, I thought I'd better grab that. I bought Weeks Dye Works Deep Sea, which is going to be for Plum Street Samplers A Gentleman's Daughter, which I said to you the other day I'd bought the threads for, but I couldn't get that one from Peakside. They were out of stock of that one, so I just added it to my order for Patchwork Rabbit. And I picked up 2 charts, one because I'd never seen it before and I really liked it, and the other one was a little bit of a, you know, when you get really close to free postage and you think, well, I could either, you know, pay £3 postage, or I could add this to my cart and it'll cost me a £5, but I'm not paying any postage. Not that I don't really like it, because I've nearly bought it 2 or 3 times before, but that's the reason I got it this time. It's not got any immediate plans for me. So the one that I'd never seen before was Little House Needleworks Winter Plaid, and I just really liked that house, that winter house with the little alphabet underneath and the cardinal. I really want to get a few more things that are winter rather than just Christmas, so that I can leave things out a bit longer. So that's Winter Plaid by Little House Needleworks. And then this one is called Garden Birds by La Di Da, and like I said, I've nearly bought it 2 or 3 times before. And it's actually a box top for a Lone Elm Lane box, but snowball's chance in a gas oven of me ever finding one of those, so I don't know how I'll finish it, but it might end just up being framed or a pillow or something like that. But yeah, I really like that one as well. And obviously it's got the alphabet, so you can change the alphabet on the inside. I picked up a couple of bits of perforated paper in the sort of natural colour. Do they give it a colour? Antique brown. There we go. Because I have got one of those sleighs and one of the sleigh patterns to go on the top of it. So I hadn't got the perforated paper, so I've got that. And then I've wanted this for so long. As soon as I saw it, I was like, I get that in my hand straight away. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to do a flip through of all of the charts in here. So there are 12 projects, and some of them are ones that have been difficult to get as single charts, and some of them are ones that haven't come out as single charts yet. So I know the history of a couple of them, but not all of them. So this one is called Spell of the Moon, which was a little single chart for a long time, and then it suddenly got very hard to find, and then appeared in this book. So Spell of the Moon. Now this, I really like this. This is called October 31st, which is obviously like it's done as a very low drum effectively, but it's a pin cushion. So there's that, and there's lots of like finishing instructions in as well. That's got no bit of chart on it, but you've got a whole double page there of finishing instructions. This is called Nebraska Prairie. Really sweet little drum. It is only 108 by 47, so it really is a sweet little drum. And again, loads of finishing instructions. This is called A Sister's Love, which is a sampler. This one is Bittersweet September. Do you know, there's not one in here that I think no, I wouldn't stitch that. I love this one as well. Autumn Sound. So that's really small, 47 by 51. And then Now I Know How to Make a Little Drawstring Bag. This is definitely on the cards. This is called Blooming Sunflowers. And the other thing I was delighted to see is that quite a few of these projects are on 36 count run. Again, it's almost as if I plan these things, but I really don't. Now this is the one that I've stalked and stalked and stalked. It's called First Winds of Autumn, and it came out, I'm just going to see if it tells, no, it doesn't say where. It came out as almost like a club piece or an exclusive piece for a retreat or something like that, and everybody was just gaga over it. It was amazing. And it seems to have taken ages and ages, but because it's appeared in this book, and it's a big strawberry. It is a big strawberry. This is called Patchwork Pumpkin. That one is the only one that I would be slightly dubious about, only because I'm not mad keen on this real fussy border. I would probably just go to the inside there because I love the house and the pumpkin, but I'm just not mad keen on that over fussy border. And this one, I've always liked this one as well, Waiting for the Harvest. So I love that. It is stitched in Gentle Arts Dark Chocolate, if anyone who's wondering about the colour. and a few little accoutrements you can make there. And have we got one more? Yes, this one, Mighty Acorn, which says mighty oaks from little acorns grow. So there we go, that is all in that book, and for the price it's amazing. I've seen it in 2 or 3 places. It's between sort of 21, 22 up to about 24 I've seen it for, depending on where it comes from. So if you had not considered getting that book, that is a bumper one, like the Sewing Club book that they did. Imagine if they're going to start doing a couple of these a year. Ooh, I don't think I'd ever want to stitch anything else. I really want to have a bit of a Blackbird year next year. There's so many piling up that I wanna stitch. Anyway, it has been lovely talking to you again, and I can't believe that we've only got a few more of these to go. Who am I going to talk to? Who am I going to talk to about stitching? My family are going to be just going to be like, will you shut up? Stop talking to us. So anyway, until tomorrow, I shall see you then. Stay classy, stitchers.